Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? In this live video masterclass, tutorial, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make six figures selling life insurance to rich people using something called the niche method. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right on into everything. And basically, what you guys are going to learn from this masterclass is how to sell life insurance to rich people using the niche method so that you can get lower chargebacks, higher answer rates, and bigger policies. I'm going to show you guys how 2 agents are using this exact method to sell $30,000 per month, working less than 3 hours per day. So they're working 3 hours per day or less, right? I'm also going to show you guys how you can get 8 to 10 life insurance appointments per day. So you're not having to constantly go out and make, hundreds and hundreds of dials all the time. And I'm also going to show you guys how a top agency is using this method to feed leads for their entire team. So if you guys are just jumping on, just comment your name and where you are joining in from. I got my screen with the comments over here, and I got my PowerPoint over here. So if I look this direction, it's because I'm checking what you guys are saying. Awesome. So let's go ahead and dive right in. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is what makes a quality lead. Because whenever it comes to selling life insurance and selling life insurance to wealthier clients, a lot of that comes down to working better leads. So what actually makes a quality lead? I want you guys to drop down in the comments. What do you guys think makes a quality lead? I see Roberto Garcia coming in from San Diego. What's going on? I've been out to San Diego. La Jolla is a beautiful area. But what makes a quality lead in your guys' mind? All right. See a couple comments coming in. Let's see. So here's what actually makes a quality lead. Okay. The first thing is you need a lead that is high income, right? Meaning that they can afford to pay for the policy, right? And the second thing that you need for a quality lead and a quality client is somebody that has a desperate need, desire for life insurance, right? So those two things: high income, desperate need for life insurance. You can put this another way. You could just say that they are willing, right? Willing to buy life insurance and able to afford it, right? That's what makes a quality lead. Now, when I say rich people, guys, I want to kind of specify what I mean by that, because there's a broad spectrum of what rich people could mean, right? You could say 1% worldwide, and then 30K a year would be top 1% worldwide, right? Or we could say like 500K a year plus, and now we're talking about 1% for the US. But what I have found is that the sweet spot when it comes to selling life insurance is somebody making between 50K and 250K a year. Now, why is that, you may ask? There's a couple reasons why. So first and foremost, if somebody's making less than 50K a year, it takes off a lot of the more advanced products that we look at that ultimately end up having like a lower chargeback rate and just tend to be like better products to sell, right? If somebody's making less than 50K a year, the odds that they're going to be able to spend a lot of money on life insurance and continue to pay that bill consistently, it's not impossible, but it's just a bit lower than if they make 50K a year or more. Now, up to 250, if they make over 250K a year, a lot of times these cases get like more complicated, and you're going to spend way more time getting a deal pushed through, as opposed to if you're between this like 50K to 250K a year sweet spot. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know if you guys are getting this so far. Cool. Awesome. So again, just to reiterate, less than 50K a year, the likelihood that they're going to pay their premium drops off a cliff. Over 250K a year, it starts to get a lot more complicated, and there's more back and forth. Maybe you're dealing with like, a financial advisor, and just gets way more complicated, right? So the other thing you guys need to understand is that the riches are in the niches. So this is a quote from a guy named Alex Hormozi. You guys may have seen online. He's like a business guru guy who, talks about business. And basically he says that the riches are in the niches. Okay. So who here knows what that means? Have you guys ever heard the riches are in the niches, or who here like actually knows what I mean when I say the riches are in the niches? Let's see. While you guys are dropping that in, I see we got Rob coming in from Glendale, Arizona. I used to live in Gilbert, Arizona. I see Jane coming in from North Carolina. That's where I was born and raised. I used to live in North Carolina. And Janice coming in from Texas. That's where I am right now. Wow, this is crazy. And then we got Lee coming in from Cali. What's up, Lee? Awesome. So who here has heard or understands what the riches are in the niches means? All right. Doesn't look like anybody has heard of this. Cool. So basically, what the riches are in the niches means, actually, it'd probably be better if I just give you guys an example, right? So take the example of doctors, right? So if I'm a doctor, I'm going to go to medical school for like, I think it's like 8 to 10 years. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know exactly, but I think it's like 8 to 10 years. They go to school for a lot and they go hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to become a doctor. Now, what smart doctors do is they become a specialist, or you could also say they niche down, right? So for example, a brain surgeon versus a general practitioner. A brain surgeon has niched down. He's become a specialist who only works with people who need brain surgery, right? Whereas a general practitioner, you go to this guy with any problem under the sun and he's, there to see you, right? Look at the difference in income. Well, a brain surgeon makes $400K a year and a general practitioner makes about $130K a year. So by niching down, the brain surgeon's basically making a little over 3 times as much money as the general practitioner just by niching down and becoming a specialist, right? So what you want to do is basically become a specialist for a specific niche. And let me kind of give you guys another example of this. So let's say I'm trying to target people who want life insurance. And I say, anybody in the United States who needs life insurance, I'm your guy, right? That's a very broad market. So each person does not feel like I'm talking specifically to them, right? Versus if I say, if you live in Texas, and you need life insurance, blah, 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 right? That's a little bit more of a specific message. So the messaging is more potent and I'm more attractive as a person to people living in Texas. Now, if I say people living in Austin, Texas, now I'm niched down to a specific city. I'm getting even more potent with my messaging because if somebody lives in Austin, Texas, and they see that message, they think I'm talking specifically to them. Now, if I say people living on this street who need life insurance, I'm getting very niched down and very specific. So everyone on that street is paying attention, right? Does that make sense? Basically, the more specific you get with your messaging and the more specialized you get, the more potent it is to the people that you're talking to, right? If I'm talking, here's another example. If I say insurance agents, it's a broad market. If I say life insurance agents, that's a more narrow market. If I say life insurance telesales agents, if you sell life insurance over the phone, you're going to respond to that. Versus insurance agents, you feel like I'm talking to you more when I say life insurance telesales agents, right? Hopefully that makes sense. If it does, let me know. If not, I'm happy to see if I can explain that in a different way. Another example would be if you're going to work with a marketing agency, would you rather work with a marketing agency who's a generalist? So let's say they maybe run ads for gyms, chiropractors, restaurants, dentists, roofers, HVAC, and they also happen to run ads for insurance agents? Or would you want to work with a marketing agency who specifically does lead generation for life insurance agents? That person is probably going to be better than the one who does it for everybody, right? Cool. So what if we could only talk to people who have a high income, right? So they can afford it. And we know they have a desperate need for life insurance. That is kind of this was the idea that we had. And this is what led us to coming up with what we call the niche method. So basically what this is it's a way to market to people that have an income and have a need for life insurance, right? And by the way that we do this is we target a specific niche. Like for example, nurses who on average make $86K a year. So here's the thing about nurses. We know they have an income because they're employed, they're a nurse, right? And we know they have a need for life insurance because think about what nurses see every single day on a day-to-day basis. They see death and sickness. They're taking care of sick patients. They're taking care of people that got in car accidents. This is a top of mind concept or top of mind topic for them. And if they have kids, the thought that crosses their mind is hey, I'm taking care of all these people. What happens if I end up as the patient instead of the caregiver? right? So nurses is a great niche to sell life insurance to. Another one would be truckers. Truckers make a lot of income. Average is like 103K a year. So we know they have an income and we know they have a need because they're on the road all the time. If they have a family at home, if something happens to them on the road, right? You see all these car accidents, different things that happen. Like they know that what they do is a dangerous job. So they have a dangerous job and they have an income. And if we're being honest, like truckers don't really have, because they're on the road all the time, it's not like they spend a ton of money. So they have a lot of room in the budget for life insurance. Another example is parents with young kids. There's two of them if they're married parents with young kids. So they have two incomes. That's two policies, one for the mom, one for the dad. Plus, you can also sell policies on the kids. Amazing. Or we could also look at business owners, right? I think the average business owner makes about 119K a year. And so these are just some examples of niches, right? Is this making sense so far? Do you guys kind of understand the niche method, like the overall concept? Obviously, I'll dive deeper in the further on we go in this whole ordeal here. Just drop yes in the chat if this is making sense so far. If you guys understand what I mean when I say like niching down and going after like nurses, truckers, parents with young kids, etc. I see Janice says yes. Amazing. Amazing. Awesome. Now, the other thing this allows us to do is set a floor on our customer, right? So I'll explain what that means. But basically what we said before is like a quality lead. I see Rob also says yes. Amazing. I'm glad I'm not just talking to nobody. Here we go. We got more comments that are coming in. Yes. Yes, sir. Amazing. Cool. Cool. Glad you guys are tracking. So what I was talking about before when I said a quality lead is going to A, have an income and B, have a need. When we set a floor, we're saying that everyone we want to talk to has at least those two things, right? So here's an example, kind of like a visual representation of what this looks like. So let's say 50K a year is our floor. So we don't want to talk to people that are making less than 50K. So if we target nurses or we target truckers or we target married moms, just by going after that niche, we know that everyone that like responds to that ad or everyone that we talk to is going to be above that floor, right? That's what I mean when I say setting a floor. Is it's like the minimum standard to become a client is this. And just based off of who you're going after, everyone's going to fall above that, right? Cool. So do you guys want to see some examples of the niche method in action? Do you guys want to see some people that are absolutely crushing it with this? If you do, just spam yes in the chat. Just drop a yes. And I will show you guys some examples. Awesome. I see a yes. Cool. Let's go on. So here is an example right here, guys. These agents, they actually own an agency at Symmetry called the Web Agency. And their niche, they are targeting cops and first responders. So why, I'm curious as to what you guys think. Why do you guys think that cops and first responders would be a good niche to target? Just drop in the comments why it would be a good niche to target. Then I'm going to explain to you guys what they're doing and how they're doing it. Okay, cool. I think some people are on a delay because I'm getting some more yeses. Okay. High need, decent income. Boom. Yeah, pretty simple. So the cool thing about cops is like, if they're a cop, we know they have a job because they're a cop. Or if they're a first responder, same thing. But the other thing is the exact same kind of concept we were talking about with the nurses and the truckers is they're working a dangerous job. Like think about it. Cops are constantly coming. Cops are the first people that show up to car accidents as well as firefighters. So they're seeing these like bad situations every day. You know, cops get shot at, like crazy things happen to cops every single day. So they work a very dangerous job and they have an income. Not too much else to it. Very simple. Now, these two guys, they're actually feeding their entire agency with the niche method. So they're running an ad targeting cops and first responders. They have people that book appointments on their calendar and they just sell life insurance. They're top of the leaderboard at Symmetry. I'll show you guys a screenshot in just a moment. Their retention rate is sky high and they mostly work off of appointment. As you guys can see right here, this is them, top of the leaderboard at Symmetry. Here's another example. Arison. These guys are targeting parents and truckers. They're selling $30,000 a month, working 3 hours a day. They're homeschooling, right? Get this. Let me just, so you guys can get the full effect. They're homeschooling 7 kids. Imagine that. Homeschooling 7 kids. So they don't have time to make $500 a day or, just work like crazy. They work 3 hours a day and they're selling $30,000 a month. Now, disclaimer, I'm not saying that everyone watching this is just going to go out and do that immediately. They've been doing this for about almost 2 years. So they've been working this whole niche method thing for almost 2 years, but they've like entrenched themselves so deeply in the truckers niche and working with young parents that now they kind of have like a reputation where people are coming to them and they're able to write a ton of business without like killing themselves all the time, which is the beautiful thing about this is you kind of like build a reputation and people within that niche start referring you, right? Now, sky high retention rate, and they're mostly working off of appointment. Here's another example. Guys, this is Trevor. He is also targeting truckers. And the cool thing about truckers and like working professionals is these type of people, they work during the day. So they're more inclined to book an appointment when they know they're going to be off. So you get a lot more appointments when you kind of go after like these younger people that are, working. And Trevor was able to write $4,897 in 1 week, only working the appointments. We published a video where he talked about this. He actually, side note, I don't recommend doing this, but he didn't call any of his leads. He just worked the people that pre-booked and wrote nearly $5,000 in just 1 week. So do you guys want to see, we're kind of talking about like these auto-booked appointments and pre-booked appointments and things like that. Do you guys want to see the funnel that we use and how we kind of set this up and structure it to get people to pre-book on the calendar? Just drop a yes in the chat if you do, and I'll kind of break it down here. Yes, please. Amazing. So let me show you guys how this works and what this looks like. So I'm going to show you guys the funnel that we basically use to get our calendars looking like this and this. So basically, it's pretty simple. This is what we do. So we have an ad, which I'm going to show you guys this ad in a minute. I'll show you guys like the video and how we kind of structure this whole deal. So we have an ad that goes to a form where people fill out information. They tell us their beneficiary. Basically just we ask them questions to kind of prime them to buy. From there, once they fill out the form, we send them to our calendar where they can book an appointment. And then the automations, there's a few different things that happen. So if they book an appointment, we're going to send them text to get them to show up. So your show rate's going to be higher, right? If they book, we send them text to help boost the show rate. If they don't book, we send them text to get them to book, right? And then based off of whatever action they take, there's different automations that go out to them to basically funnel them down so that they book on your calendar. And then you talk to the people and sell policies. That's pretty much it. Like, it's very simple. The ad goes to a form, that goes to a calendar, and then we have automations that get them to show up. Or if they don't book, we try to get them to book. Does that make sense? Cool. So let me show you guys an example of one of these ads, because a lot of the magic of this comes from the actual ad itself, right? One of the things that I've learned from studying, very successful marketers, I'm talking about people that do, multi 8 and 9 figures. Like for example, you guys may have heard of this guy, Russell Brunson. I got a bunch of his books back here. But basically, like from studying a lot of these successful people, one of the things that I've learned is like whatever you do on the ad is going to affect what happens in the rest of your business. I'll give you guys like a perfect example of this, and then I'll show you guys this video. So when I first got into the business, what I was doing is I was working free Walmart gift card leads. So basically the way that this would work is the company I was working for, the IMO, would send out a bunch of mailers to people all over North Carolina. And what the mailer would say is, there's a new state-approved burial fund program, whatever. Send this back to get a free Walmart gift card. So we would go out, we'd take like a stack of mailers like this thick, go out and knock doors. We would go and buy the Walmart gift cards, knock on the door. Hey, Miss Jones, I'm just coming back about that mailer you sent in. Is this your handwriting? It was about the free Walmart gift card, and I mentioned life insurance. Now, guess what happened? Even when I sold people policies, I had like 50% of my business charged back, like half of it charged back. It was crazy because if you think about it, who is the type of person that's going to respond to a mailer that says, send this back for a free Walmart gift card? It's going to be people that want something for free. Not to mention the ad literally said free government benefit. So I just got a bunch of people that were looking for a handout. And when it came time to pay the bill, they were nowhere to be found. So what you do on the front end is going to affect the type of leads, the type of customers, the type of clients that you deal with on the back end. The quality of your business is based on the quality of your customer, and the quality of the customer is based on the quality of your marketing, who you're targeting. It's cause and effect, right? If you flush baby wipes down the toilet, don't be surprised when your toilet gets clogged, right? So let me show you guys an example of kind of what this ad looks like and why it works. So I'm going to play it here, and let me know if you guys can hear the audio, because sometimes this thing works, sometimes it doesn't. And I don't want to be halfway through the video and, I start seeing comments and I can't hear it. So let me know if you guys can hear this.
If you're a nurse with kids under 20, this is the most important video you will ever watch.
Okay, pause. Could you guys hear that? I know it might have been a little quiet in the beginning. Let me know if not. I'm just going to have to kind of restructure some stuff and get this working. I'm looking for yeses or C's. Both are acceptable here. Okay, let's see. I think that was a yes. Yes, I hear it. Amazing. You guys are super helpful. So I'm going to play this again. I'm going to kind of like pause it as we're going through and explain like why we're getting higher quality customers with this ad.
If you're a nurse with kids under 20, this is the most important video you will ever watch.
Okay, cool. Pause it right there. Now, look what this says. Are you a nurse? If I am not a nurse, guess what I'm going to do when I see this ad? Scroll, right? If you're a nurse with kids under 20, this is the most important video you'll ever watch. So just in the first few seconds, we're targeting nurses that have kids under the age of 20. Nurses, people that have an income. Nurses with kids under 20. People that have a desperate need for life insurance. We're repelling everybody else, right?
You see, I've been a nurse for 22 years and
I'm going to kind of skip throughout this because basically, the whole angle is like, most nurses get insurance through their hospital, but what you don't actually know is the hospital owns it, not you, blah, 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 blah. That's kind of the angle we're taking here. So we're like tapping into existing demand. But here's where we kind of start talking about the program. So we say, I'm just going to play it.
Allowing healthcare workers to get up to $1 million in coverage for their families for less than the price of a coffee per day.
Okay, pause. So there's another thing that we did here that's very subtle that boosts the quality of the lead that comes from this video. And I want to know if you guys caught it. It's very, very subtle, but it's going to boost the quality of the lead. And the people that are going to come through are going to have better expectations. So drop in the comments if you think you know what it is. If you don't know what it is, you can still guess. It's totally fine. And I'm going to take a sip of water. So what did we do? It was very subtle in this video that is going to boost the quality of the lead and get us people that are, I'll give you guys a hint, get us people that are willing and able to spend more money. Amazing. There we go. Gil got it. So price of a coffee. So what a lot of people will do is they'll run ads that'll say things like, get $500 million in life insurance for a penny a day. Well, you're misaligning the expectations from the people that are coming through. Remember, everything you do on the front end affects what happens on the back end. So what I'm doing in this ad is I'm saying that it's less than the price of a coffee per day. But the price of a coffee is like $4 to $6 today. If I go and buy a coffee, it's going to be $4 to $6. Now, 4 times 30 days in a month is 120, meaning that people that are coming through this funnel are already expecting to spend $120 a day or more on life insurance, right? Less than the price of a coffee per day. I'm not saying a penny a day. I'm not saying 50 cents a day. I'm not saying $1 a day. I'm saying less than the price of a coffee per day. So I have realistic expectations being set for me as an agent.
That way, if you get chronically ill and disabled in an accident and can't work, you still have coverage in place for your family. All you need to do to see if you qualify is click Learn More.
Boom. And that is pretty much how the ad works, right? Obviously, there's the whole bit talking about if you leave work, the policy, you'll lose your policy, and here's a policy that you actually own. That's kind of the angle we're going after here. But we're calling out nurses. We're calling out nurses that have kids, and we're kind of like setting expectations in terms of pricing. Does that make sense? Do you guys see how this would generate like better quality leads than I'm about to show you?
If you're a nurse
Cool. So here is I study a lot of like what lead vendors in the industry do. And this ad right here on the left, this is what a lot of lead vendors run. If you guys are buying leads from a lead vendor, they're probably running an ad like this. Now, this is like literally, this is what most people do. They'll make some page that says something like senior benefit programs, and then read the ad copy. Last week, if you did not get, or last warning, if you did not get your $25,000 funeral benefit this week, makes it sound like it's free. Pay close attention because you might miss out on one of the biggest final expense benefits of the year. Again, makes it sound like it's free. Seniors across America are getting a once-in-a-lifetime chance to get coverage up to $25,000 to pay for the cost of their funeral and final expenses. Attention residents on Social Security. State approves $35,000 cash fund to pay 100% of funeral expenses. Now, when you call these people and they think it's free or they don't answer the phone, it's because they're filling out like a million of these little free government benefit forms to try to like get qualified for something that doesn't exist. And then when you and like 50 other agents start calling them, they just shut their phone off. And then even if you do get them to answer the phone, like the expectations are completely misaligned. Versus the ad that you guys just watched, which is what we do and what our clients do, is we target people that A, have an income, and B, have a desperate need for life insurance. Now, serious question for you guys. Which ad do you guys think that like a self-respecting working professional that can actually afford to pay for what you guys are selling is going to click on, right? Which ad is the nurse that's making $86K a year going to click on? The one on the left or the one on the right? You guys tell me. Which one do you think? Yeah. I see people saying right. And you are right. 100%. This is the ad that the higher quality of clients are going to click on. So do you guys see like the difference with this, right? This is what most lead vendors are running. And if you want higher quality clients, this is what you need to do. You need to target higher quality people, and you need to, kind of like shift the way that you're generating leads. Cool. So the other beautiful thing about the niche method, and this is something I really like, is that it's people first, not product first, right? So what do I mean by that? Well, a product first agent or a product first lead is where basically you go out and you are like, you'd be like, I'm a final expense agent, but I sell to anybody. I sell final expense to anybody. Or I'm a term life insurance agent and I sell term life to anybody, right? Versus people first. I'm a life insurance specialist who helps nurses. I'm a life insurance specialist who helps truckers, right? Now, the difference is it opens up your opportunity to do a lot more cross sells and take the sale wherever it needs to go. So if I'm the specialist or the advisor that helps nurses and I help that person with, let's say the nurse comes in, but maybe she's like 60 years old and she's going to retire soon, I might sell her a whole life insurance policy. I might sell her a $50,000, $60,000 whole life insurance policy because she might be able to afford more. Or I might sell somebody an IUL, or I might sell a nurse an annuity, right? You're going to find so many annuity opportunities on these like working professionals because they have more income, right? They have savings, they have 401ks. It allows you to like cross sell these different products. And then also you can sell them health insurance. You can sell them a cancer plan, which cancer plans, I'm looking into this, but I think cancer plans are like going to be one of the biggest opportunities. You can sell them dental vision. You can sell them regular health insurance. You can sell them long-term care. Like it opens up your window of opportunity in terms of what you can sell instead of just being like siloed into one product, like final expense or like term or like mortgage protection. Like you're the specialist for X person, and then you can help them with whatever else they need. So when you have better clients, you have less chargebacks, more people pick up the phone, you have bigger policies, and you make more money. Now, the cool thing is, right, this is something I haven't even talked about yet, but when you're selling to higher quality clients, you have more money in your business. Does that make sense to you guys? Like that part? Like if you have less chargebacks, more people are answering, each policy is bigger, like you guys are going to make more income. Like with just that switch. If you don't do anything else that I'm about to talk about and you just shift to kind of like serving a better market, a lot of these problems that you guys are having are going to reduce. Less chargebacks, more people answering because they're not going to get as many phone calls, bigger policies, and more money for you as the agent. Does that make sense? Cool. So what this allows you to do when you have that extra money in your business is you can go out and hire people to do a lot of the grunt work, right? And I don't mean grunt work in like a negative way. It's just like, making dials is kind of grunt work, for being honest. You can hire somebody to be a dialer for you. You can hire someone that goes out and sets appointments for you. You can hire somebody that does a lot of the back end, like back and forth with the clients, back and forth with the carriers, like all the stuff that me personally, like I hated as an agent, like having to call and get some form signed and then you got to go fax it in because a lot of these insurance companies still run things like it's the 1800s or whatever. Like you can hire somebody to do all of that for you, and you can basically shift your schedule from like this, where you wake up, make 200 calls, and then you go and call back Miss Jones who forgot to pay her $40 a month premium and got to get her back on the books. And then you go make 200 dials again. And then you have to answer an angry phone call from a client whose bank just got overdrafted. And then you go and make 200 more dials. And then you got to call a client back to get an extra form signed. Like your day looking like this, you can take it from this to this, where you're working your preset appointments that your dialer is setting and that, your system is like people are self-booking, and then just following up with the most promising prospects, right? Instead of doing this, you can have your day looking like this, and you can own a life insurance business instead of having a life insurance business that owns you. Does that make sense? You guys seeing the power of this? Like when you have that extra income, you can start to take some of these things off of your plate, like the dials, like the back and forth, like the admin work, the paperwork, all that stuff that everyone hates. You can hire someone to do those things for you so that you can just focus on what you want to do, which for most of the people I talk to is talking to clients and selling policies. So awesome. I want to make sure everyone's getting that because that was a lot of ground that we just covered there. Does that make sense, what I just kind of explained? Basically building a life insurance business that you own instead of just doing every single job, but poorly, right? Like having to make the calls, having to sell the policies, having to follow up, having to do the back end. And like when you do that, like you don't even have time to be a person. Like when I was doing that, I didn't have time to hang out with my girlfriend, see my family, like go to the gym. I definitely didn't go to the gym. Good Lord. But now, that I've been able to outsource and have different people handle different things in my business, I can actually have a life and I can focus on what's the highest leverage and what makes me the most money. Cool. See, a couple of people are getting it. Amazing. So my question to you guys is like, how much more could you make as an agent if all of your clients were earning at least $50K a year? You had less chargebacks, your leads actually picked up, your average policy size was larger, and most of your day was spent talking to people and running appointments, right? Getting referrals, all these different things, instead of just dialing all day long. How much more money could you make? Could you make $10,000 more a year, $20,000 more a year, $50,000 more a year, $100,000, $200,000? Like how much more are you guys going to make if you're doing this? If you're just talking to people and following up and not spending all day dialing. And what could you do with that extra money? Could you travel? Maybe you guys have kids you need to put through college, which is very expensive. Here's an alternative to paying for your kids' college. Just get them an insurance license and hire them in your agency. You can retire your spouse, retire your parents, start investing into real estate, start investing into stocks, pay off debt, give to charity, save for your retirement. Like, what would you do with an extra $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 a year? That's the power of serving a better client and then building a life insurance business instead of basically being like a glorified employee of your own business. Amazing. So you guys are probably feeling a little bit overwhelmed now. Do you guys mind, or would you guys be open to me basically kind of like taking a couple minutes to explain how our team could help you implement this and like basically walk you through this entire process of implementing the niche method and then starting to like take a lot of the grunt work off of your plate and getting to a point where you're just working appointments and selling policies. Do you guys mind if I take a couple minutes to kind of walk you guys through how this works? I see Mystery Explorer says, please do. All right. Amazing. Cool. Yep. Awesome. Cool. So basically, there are 3 steps when it comes to doing this. Okay. Step number 1 is getting consistent quality leads. So our team, basically, I'll just kind of walk you guys through like how this whole thing works. Our team will set up the ads for you and will run all of your ads and generate leads for you. So you don't have to do any of the marketing. We run the ads, we do the lead gen, we do everything. Okay. That's step number 1. So we're going to get you those consistent quality leads. We're going to get you leads that are from a specific niche, right? So we'll help you kind of pick what niche is going to be the best for you to target. And then we'll do all of the lead gen for you so that you don't have to do any of the marketing or any of that. Okay. That's step number 1. Now, step number 2 is we'll help you automate your selling system. So what this means is implementing that funnel that I was telling you guys about, where your ads will then be booking appointments on your calendar. We'll help you guys install these automations that are getting leads to book on the calendar. I have one client who 27% of all of his leads book an appointment on his calendar. So if he gets 100 leads that come in, he's getting 27 appointments. I'll help you guys install that entire system so that you're getting those auto booked appointments. And then the third part, once you're selling some policies and you're starting to get, get some reps under the belt, that's when you start look at hiring somebody to start setting appointments and calling your leads for you. So this is when you can start to remove yourself from the day-to-day, not having to call leads and instead getting to a point where you're only working appointments. So we'll show you guys how we did that for our own business. We'll give you guys all of the templates, all the SOPs, how we go out and find somebody, and we'll help you through that process so you can hire an appointment setter and hire a dialer that will call your leads and set appointments for you. Now, we'll do all of that for you. And if you work with us, we literally guarantee that you'll write $20,000 a month using this system, or you don't pay. Okay? So we'll do all of the things I just talked about, the 3 steps, get you the leads, help you set up the selling system, and then help you hire a dialer. And if you don't write $20,000 a month using that system, you don't pay. So if you guys want to learn more about that, just drop yes in the chat, and I will send you guys the link where you can get more information about how that works and jump on a demo call with someone from our team who will walk you through that whole process. Okay, cool. Got a couple people dropping in yes. And by the way, if you guys are watching this on like a delay or you're watching the replay, this link that I'm about to drop in the chat is also going to be in the description. It'll be the first link in the description of the video. So you guys can just click right there. Cool. Cool. I'm going to drop this in the chat for you guys. And you guys can click there. There's a video that kind of walks through more of it. And then you guys will be able to basically, there's a survey that you'll fill out, ask you a couple questions. As long as you're a good fit, you can book a call with our team and we'll see if we can help you. Amazing. Alrighty, just dropping this link in the chat. If you guys were able to click on that, just let me know. I want to make sure the link is working. Cool. Awesome. I see a yes, the link is working. Perfect. So yeah, I'm going to drop that one more time. So just click on this link. Again, there's going to be a video that kind of explains more on how it works. And then if you guys want to book a call with our team, it'll be on the following page. So I'm dropping the link so you guys can basically understand and learn how we guarantee $20,000 a month using the niche method. Amazing. So I'm going to open it up to Q&A here for the last 5 minutes here. We got 5 minutes, and then I got to go eat some dinner. What questions do you guys have about the niche method, if any at all? You have not mentioned the cost. So basically everything that we do is custom. So it depends on what specifically you need as an agent. So like some people, for example, I showed you guys like an agency owner. An agency owner is going to need a lot more than like an individual agent. So it's custom. It's going to depend on like exactly what you need. So if you book a call with our team, they'll be able to go over the cost, and it's basically just based off of whatever you need in your situation. Hopefully that makes sense. What other questions do you guys have? Let's see. How much time does it take to earn 20K a month? That's kind of a tricky question, right? Because ultimately it like really depends on you, right? And I know that's like the worst answer I could possibly give, but let me explain. So the producers that I told you guys about, the ones that are selling $30,000 a month, working 3 hours a day, they've been doing this for 2 years. So they've built up a lot of lead flow, and they've built up a reputation within their niche where they are at a point where they can work 3 hours a day and sell 30K a month. For you, if you want to earn 20K a month, like, I mean, if you're going to earn 20K a month with anything, I would recommend whenever you get started with a business that you're like serious about, overinvest in terms of time. Like put so much time in that it would be impossible for you to fail. And then over time, once you start to kind of like master it and get better at it, you can decrease your time and you can get more output for less input, right? So if you guys think about a guy like Elon Musk, like think about how much time Elon Musk spent building Tesla, right? But now, I mean, that guy has time to tweet. So it's not like he's spending tons of time running that company, but he would have never gotten there if he didn't put in the hard work in the beginning. So you're not going to make 30K a month working 3 hours a day in the beginning. But if you like work your ass off and get enough leads and kind of build out the system that I was talking about, there's no reason you couldn't get there at some point. Definitely not everybody gets there. Those two are, they're an exception, and they worked their ass off to get there. But yeah, I mean, as with anything, you got to put a lot of time in the beginning to get good at it and like gain that leverage and build it up. But then, once you start to, have systems in place and you have leads coming in and you get referrals, you can work less and make the same amount or more. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. What are your top individual agents doing? 30K is nice for 3 hours, but what about the ones that put in more time? We have a few agents that are doing like 40K per month. I would say that's probably like the top agents. How long does it take to implement this program before the leads begin coming through? So our agents, like whenever someone works with us, they get leads within 48 hours of signing up. So there's usually like you come in, you get set up, and then we launch the ads within 48 hours. The only reason it would take longer is if like you take longer to do a couple things on your end, because obviously you have to like share us access to your Facebook page so we can run your ads, but usually within 48 hours. Do lead gen for annuities or other non-life insurance concepts like debt elimination. We do some stuff with IULs as well, but I don't do anything with annuities for now. Maybe something I'll get into in the future, but for now, we do like the niche method and IULs, and then some final expense. These are all great questions. What other questions do you guys have, if any? what platform are these ads run on? So we use, I think you're supposed to call it Meta nowadays, but I still call it Facebook. So we run ads on Facebook, and then Facebook or Meta owns Facebook and Instagram. So when you run ads on Meta, you're running ads on Facebook and Instagram. So we use Meta ads. Facebook ads or Meta ads. I'm just going to call it Facebook because I hate the name Meta. Facebook ads are the best way to get leads. There are literally 3 billion monthly active users on Facebook, which is a third of the world's population. So yeah, that's why I use Facebook ads. Great question. What other questions do you guys have? These are great questions. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to go get some dinner. What else do you guys have? And by the way, if you guys want to learn more about how we can set this whole system up for you and guarantee that you'll write $20,000 a month using it, I'm going to drop the link right here again. Just click here. There's a video that explains how we guarantee 20K a month, and then you can book a call with our team on the next page. What about LinkedIn? No, we don't do anything on LinkedIn. If you're not making, this is going to sound crazy. If you're not making $1 million a year, you don't need to worry about any other platforms. Just pick one platform. So if you're going to run ads as an insurance agent, just use Facebook. You don't need to mess with anything else. Yes, there is an initial setup charge. So it depends on your situation and the lead flow and what you need specifically. So that's something that our team can go over with you based off of what your situation is. But yes, there's a charge for us to set everything up. Great questions. What else do you guys got? Got a thumbs up about Facebook or Meta. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. Cool. Well, I appreciate you guys jumping on here. It's great to spend the last 45 minutes with all of you. Again, if you guys want to book a call and learn more about how we guarantee $20,000 a month selling life insurance using the niche method, click the link down below, and look forward to speaking with you guys soon. Take care. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We put out tons of valuable content like this. Most of you guys probably came from David Duford. So we work with David in a lot of ways and put out tons of good content just like he does. So look forward to hearing from you guys soon. Take care. Enjoy your Wednesday and happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. Take care, y'all.